So I'm going to start off by saying my computer has been being really glitchy. So if it cuts off at any point in the video, it's because I, for some reason, cannot get my computer to delete enough memory. So I'm just going to start. That way maybe I can try and get this all in. So today I'm going to be making Mexican hot chocolate cookies for you. I've been making them for years. They're one of my favorite dishes to make. I started making them back in high school. Because I had to do a Spanish project, and we could make food or, talk about Spanish traditions, and I decided to make a Mexican dessert. And it has just really stuck with me. It's amazing. I love it. It's got a bit of a bite to it. You use a bit of cayenne in the recipe. So I'm just going to start. I'm going to let you know what the ingredients are. I use 3 tablespoons of non-dairy milk, maple syrup, vanilla extract, oil. Those are our liquid ingredients. And then I use sugar, baking soda, salt, flour, unsweet cocoa powder, and cayenne pepper. So the first thing, besides the ingredients, we're going to need some other tools. So we have a small bowl, and that's what we're going to mix our liquid ingredients and the sugar into. Then we have the big bowl, which is for the other dry ingredients. And then you also have a plate, which you're going to put a cup of sugar and a teaspoon of cinnamon on. And that's what I'm going to roll the cookie dough in. And then we'll flatten the cookie dough down and put it on the sheets. And that's what gives it that like snickerdoodle look, the crystally snickerdoodle look. So first, we're going to take the the liquid products, ingredients, and put it in the small bowl. So I'm doing that now. That was 3 tablespoons of non-dairy milk, a 1/4 cup of maple syrup, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1/2 cup of oil, and 1 1/3 cup of sugar. And then we're going to mix those together. You're going to add the sugar slowly because you don't want it to get clumpy and you really want to get that mixed in there very well. I am just making pretend because I don't want to waste products and ingredients. I keep saying products. And all right, once that's mixed, we're going to add 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1 2/3 cups of flour, 1/2 cup of unsweetened cocoa powder, and 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. And I'm going to mix that up right now. I do tweak the recipe from the original recipe. I like to normally do a little bit more cayenne pepper, but for this class's sake, I'm going to do what the recipe calls for and just do a 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. It's really not that spicy, I will say. It's got a bit of a bite, but it's not that bad. It's like it's really not that bad. I made it in high school, again, not for my Spanish class, but for my culinary class. And a girl in the class ended up going to the hospital because she was allergic to something, and it could have just been the pepper. I don't know. I'm just going to warn you, if you're sensitive to spicy things, you might not want to try it. But it's not too bad. So I did what I could with the whisk. After that, you are going to need to start mixing with your hands. You got to get in there and make sure it's all mixed together. You want to make sure the cayenne is spread throughout all of the dough. That way that you don't have like some more spicy places than others. And you just make sure it's all mixed up. And you are going to have a big ball of dough. It's not going to be liquidy. It's going to be very malleable. And you're going to start... oh, shoot. Did I add the liquid ingredients? Let's just say I added the liquid ingredients and I started mixing. So that happened. Now we have this big ball of malleable dough. And we're going to start breaking off about this big chunks and rolling them in our sugar and cinnamon mix here. Once that is rolled, we're going to flatten them a little bit, and we're going to put them on our cookie sheet here. That's not visible at the moment, but I promise it's here. We're putting them on the cookie sheet. With wax paper, we are going to want to have wax paper on our cookie sheet. And we're going to do that with all of the dough, and I should have about 24 cookies when I'm done, but I often run out, or I often I make bigger cookies, so I end up making less. But I should have enough for the class. If not, I'll make extra. And then after all of those are done, I'm probably going to use about 2 cookie sheets to get all of the dough all rolled out and stuff. And we're going to we preheated our oven. All right, you will have your oven preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And you're going to bake the cookies for 10 to 12 minutes. And there you have it. It's a really simple recipe. You don't need a mixer. It's super, super simple. I love it. And I hope you guys like it too. And that's all. Is it still? Oh, it's still going. Oh my goodness, that's embarrassing.